Okay, so this is the final topic of General Biology 1, the cellular respiration. Specifically, we are going to answer how cells harvest chemical energy through the process of cellular respiration. Kung i-observe natin yung chemical equation ng ating cellular respiration, kabaliktaran lang siya ng ating photosynthesis. So magi-start yung ating process with a reactant kung saan nandun yung ating glucose, C6H12O6. That is your glucose. Okay, this is your glucose, C6H12O6. And then the second one is yung 6 molecules of oxygen gas. So yan ang kailangan para mag-undergo ng cellular respiration. So sa product side po natin, dito natin makikita yung ating carbon dioxide and yung ating water. So kabaliktaran lang siya ng photosynthesis. Tinatawag nating catabolic pathway ang cellular respiration because yung catabolic pathway po, ang ibig sabihin po niyan is nagbe-breakdown po tayo ng glucose. Ibig sabihin ng breakdown, parang ina-extract natin yung energy from the glucose. Okay, kaya siya tinawag na catabolic pathway. Kung i-observe din natin yung ating chemical equation, again, oxygen is consumed as a reactant along with glucose or organic compound. And cellular respiration involves 3 stages. We have the glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. This is the general diagram for the process of cellular respiration. So, tatlo yung stage natin. Glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. So, sa glycolysis po natin, magpo-produce siya ng ATP. Sa Krebs cycle, magpo-produce din ng ATP. At electron transport chain is magpo-produce din ng ATP. So, ang goal ng tatlong process na to sa cellular respiration is mag-produce ng maraming ATP. Okay? Kung i-observe din natin itong diagram, the Krebs cycle and electron transport chain, nangyayari po yan sa loob ng ating mitochondrion. Mitochondrion is the singular term for the organelle. Okay? Kapag plural form naman, that is mitochondria. Then sa labas ng mitochondrion po natin, which is sa cytoplasm, nandun yung ating process of glycolysis. So ano yung tinatawag nating ATP? Since ito yung kailangan ma-produce ng ating mitochondrion during cellular respiration. Kaya nga siya tinawag na powerhouse of the cell kasi yun ang pinoproduce niya, puro ATP. So adenosine triphosphate is the energy used by all cells and it is an anorganic molecule containing high energy phosphate bond. So this is the chemical structure of ATP. So we have the phosphate group, the ribose sugar, and the adenine. What does ATP do for you? So it supplies us with energy. And how do we get energy from ATP? Siyempre, by breaking high energy bond between the last two phosphate in ATP. So kung i-observe natin tong diagram, yung pinakahuling phosphate po natin, siya yung nagpo-provide ng malaking amount ng energy. And kung babalikan natin yung process ng ATP-ADP cycle, di ba? Kailangan ma-break si phosphate para magamit yung energy na yun. And yung phosphate gagamitin for phosphorylation para ma-consume yung energy. Aside from ATP, meron din tayong tinatawag na NADH and FADH. Okay? So, ano yung tinatawag nating NADH and FADH? So, ang NADH ay nafo-form kapag nagtatrap yung NAD plus po natin ng electron. So, it will make NADH that stores energy. Aside from that, yung FADH, it also stores energy din. Diba? Na gagamitin or ang mangyayari dito sa ating cellular respiration, yung mapoproduce na NADH and FADH is i-convert din siya eventually into ATP or adenosine triphosphate. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng NADH and FADH? So when we say NADH, it means that wait lang. Yung NADH po natin is yung nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Iba po siya dun sa NADPH ng ating photosynthesis. So, NADH, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide. Then, yung FADH naman is known as flavin adenine dinucleotide. Plus hydrogen yung H, di ba? Pag naging meron siyang H. Again, ulitin ko po, yung NADH, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide. Yung FADH naman is flavin adenine dinucleotide. So kapag may kasamang hydrogen, that is may H. Where does cellular respiration take place? It actually takes place in two parts of the cell. So always remember, kapag glycolysis, it occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. While yung Krebs cycle and ETC na na-mention ko kanina, it takes place naman in the mitochondria. Let us review the structure of mitochondria or of a mitochondrion, di ba? So, it is also a double membrane. Meron siyang inner and outer membrane. So, it is already given na dito sa ating diagram, di ba? Tapos, yung inner membrane natin, yung fold na makikita mo sa kanya, that is what we call cristae. Diba? Yung fold na makikita ninyo, this is the cristae. And then, yung space inside the cristae is called matrix. So, yun yung pinaka-general structure na ma-observe natin sa ating mitochondria. Balikan natin yung diagram po natin. So, this is the process of cellular respiration. It will initially start with the process of glycolysis that occurs in the cytoplasm. So the goal is to produce ATP pa rin. Then the second stage, which is the Krebs cycle, it occurs in the matrix of the mitochondrion. Then the product is ATP. And then the last part is yung electron transport chain natin that occurs across the cristae. And at the same time, the product pa din is adenosine triphosphate. So during this process na ma-observe natin sa cellular respiration, meron din siyang mga other products katulad ng carbon dioxide na i-release niya naman back to the environment. Let's start with the concept of glycolysis. So glycolysis, it means the splitting of sugar. Kasi ang glycolysis, gagamit po siya ng glucose tapos mag-undergo na siya ng process, diba, ng cellular respiration. Again, it occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. It partially oxidizes glucose or 6-carbon compound into 2-pyruvate or 3C molecule or 3-carbon compound molecules. It occurs whether or not oxygen is present. It is an exergonic process. So pag sinabi natin exergonic process, diba, it releases energy. So most of the energy harnessed is conserved in the high energy electrons of NADH and in the phosphate band of ATP. So this is the diagram for our glycolysis. Sabi ko kanina, mag-i-start siya with glucose. It will start with glucose. Tapos, at the end of the process, kailangan niya makapag-produce ng dalawang pyruvic acid or pyruvate. Pero during the process of conversion of glucose to pyruvic acid, magpo-produce siya ng dalawang ATP at dalawang NADH. Okay? Dalawang ATP and NADH. Pero kung magiging detailed tayo, actually, yung dalawang ATP, dapat 4 yan. Okay? Dapat 4 siya. Pero, dalawa lang ang nilagay ko dito sa slide. That is because yung dalawang ATP is inutang lang. Bakit siya inutang, sir? Inutang dahil yung glycolysis natin, para mag-undergo siya ng process, kailangan niya munang manghiram ng dalawang ATP. Gagamit siya ng dalawang ATP para mag-initiate ng process ng glycolysis sa yung glucose. So, nanghiram siya ng dalawang ATP. Ngayon, during the process, para ma-convert si glucose into pyruvic acid, magpo-produce siya ngayon ng 4 na ATP. So, kung 4 na ATP siya, kailangan bayaran niya yung inutang niya. Kaya, at the end of the process, dalawa lang ang may iwan. Dalawang ATP. Tapos, dalawang NADH at dalawang pyruvic acid or pyruvate. To be more detailed about it, ito yung kanyang process. So, medyo complicated siya dahil ang dami nangyayari. 'Di ba? So, meron kasing dalawang stage yung ating glycolysis. Meron siyang preparatory phase na kung saan nagkakaroon ng energy investment and then yung energy payoff phase. Kung saan babayaran niya yung inutang niyang ATP. So, dito kung mapapansin niyo dito sa first part, meron siyang ATP na ginamit. Dalawa. Ito. Isa, dalawa. Okay? Then, pagdating ng energy payoff phase, meron siyang apat na ATP na poproduce. Ito, dalawa dito, tapos dalawa dito. So, apat yan. Yun nga lang, instead of apat, kailangan bayaran niya yung inutang niya doon sa investment phase. Kaya at the end of the process, dalawang ATP lang ang maiiwan. Ayan, so tulad sinabi ko sa inyo, preparation or energy investment phase. The glucose is modified by using 2 ATP to make it more reactive. It's split into two smaller molecules called G3P or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So kung mapapansin nyo dito, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, dalawang ATP ang gagamitin or uutangin niya para mag-initiate ng process of glycolysis. Para ma-convert si glucose into G3P or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And then, the second stage is yung energy production phase or payoff phase po natin na kung saan kailangan si G3P is ma-convert into pyruvate. Okay, so para ma-convert yan, dadaan siya sa mahabang process pa din. So dito, habang dumadaan yung process natin, magpo-produce siya ng apat na ATP. So dalawa dito sa part na to at dalawa din dito sa part na to. So in total, meron kang 4 ATP. Pero meron kang kailangang bayaran na dalawang ATP dun sa kaninang ginamit po natin sa energy investment phase. And then yung dalawang NADH naman is yung ating energy carrier na mapoproduce din during the process. Ito po yan. Okay, so meron kang 4 ATP, mababawasan siya ng dalawa kasi babayaran mo yung inutang mo. Then dalawang ATP naman is yung may iwan. Then meron din siya mapoproduce sa dalawang NADH at the end of the process, okay? And then at the same time, dalawang pyruvic acid or dalawang pyruvate. To summarize, yung ating glycolysis, yung stage ng glycolysis natin na nangyayari sa cytoplasm of the cell, kailangan niyang gumamit ng glucose at kailangan niyang mangutang ng dalawang ATP. At the end of the process, sa product natin, magpoproduce siya ng 4 ATP. Yun nga lang, mababawasan siya ng dalawang ATP dahil babayaran niya yung inutang niya kanina. Kaya at the end of the process, dalawang net ATP lang ang kanyang mabibigay o mapoproduce. Tapos, magpoproduce din siya ng dalawang NADH at dalawang pyruvic acid. Okay, so this is the summary. Again, glycolysis will take place in the cytoplasm. It is anaerobic because it doesn't use oxygen. It requires input of 2 ATP, ibig sabihin mangungutang muna siya ng dalawang ATP, and then the glucose will split into 2 molecules of pyruvate. So magpo-produce siya ng dalawang pyruvate or pyruvic acid. And at the same time, it produces 2 NADH and 4 ATP. So tulad na sinabi ko kanina, babawasan natin yan ng dalawang ATP dahil nangutang po tayo. Ganun po dapat, pag nangutang dapat nagbabayad. Okay? So, maiwan na lang natin is dalawang ATP at the end of the process. Next stage or next part ng glycolysis natin is yung formation of acetyl coenzyme A. It is the junction between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So the oxidation of pyruvate is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Pyruvate molecule are translocated from cytosol into the mitochondrion by a carrier protein in the mitochondrial membrane. So in short, nangyayari po ang formation of acetyl coenzyme A sa ating mitochondrion na. Hindi na po siya sa cytoplasm. So kasi pagkatapos ma-produce ng pyruvate natin, dadalhin na siya agad sa mitochondrion para mag-initiate naman ng process of formation of other products natin sa ating cellular respiration. Okay? So, carbon dioxide, ang ginagawa natin sa formation of acetyl coenzyme A is removed from pyruvate making a 2-carbon compound, and then ma-attach naman si coenzyme A sa ating acetyl group. So, kung titingnan natin yung pinaka-process niya, ito po yun. Dalawang pyruvic acid po ang kailangan natin na kasi yung dalawang pyruvate or pyruvic acid ang napoproduce. So ito, isang pyruvic acid lang to na kapag dumaan siya ng process ng formation of acetyl coenzyme A, magpoproduce siya ng isang NADH at isang carbon dioxide, tapos gagamit siya ng coenzyme A. So pag nangyari po yun, mapoproduce si acetyl coenzyme A. And since dalawang pyruvic acid po tayo or dalawang pyruvate, so in general, in total, dalawang NADH, dalawang carbon dioxide, at dalawang acetyl coenzyme A ang mapoproduce. To summarize, ito po yun. So magkakaroon ng formation of acetyl coenzyme A, ulitin ko lang ha, mangyayari po yun sa ating mitochondrion. And then, ang requirement po natin, kailangan meron kang dalawang pyruvic acid or pyruvate at coenzyme A. At the end of the process, dahil dalawang pyruvate yan, dalawang carbon dioxide din ang mapoproduce, dalawang NADH at dalawang acetyl coenzyme A. Next natin, tingnan niyo yung diagram kung saan nangyari yung formation of acetyl coenzyme A. Nasa loob na siya ng mitochondrion. So may na-produce ba siyang ATP? Wala. Pero may na-produce siyang NADH, which is energy storage po natin. Next natin is yung ating Krebs cycle. So ang Krebs cycle naman, it is an aerobic type ng cellular respiration because it requires oxygen. Tandaan niyo lang kapag nagre-require ng oxygen, aerobic po yun. Kapag hindi naman nagre-require ng oxygen, that is anaerobic. It is a cyclical process. Ibig sabihin, cycle po siya. That gives off carbon dioxide and produces 1 ATP per cycle. So kada glucose molecule po, kailangan po siyang mag-turn ng dalawang beses or twice para mag-create ng dalawang ATP. And Krebs cycle naman takes place in the matrix of the mitochondria. So this is the general process of Krebs cycle. So mag-uumpisa ka muna sa acetyl coenzyme A. Diba dun sa ating formation of acetyl coenzyme A, dalawang acetyl coenzyme A ang na-produce. So dito, yung isang acetyl coenzyme A is magpo-produce ng dalawang carbon dioxide, magpo-produce ng dalawang NADH, tatlong NADH, magpo-produce ng isang ATP at isang FADH. So that is one cycle. Next cycle natin, ganun ulit. Isa pang cycle kasi dalawang acetyl coenzyme A po natin. So magpo-produce ulit siya ng dalawang carbon dioxide, tatlong NADH, isang ATP, at isang FADH. So at the end of the process, kapag natapos yung dalawang cycle, makaka-produce ka ngayon ng ilang molecule. Ayan. Since dalawang cycle nga siya, magpo-produce ka ngayon ng 6 NADH dahil ang isang cycle ay meron lang tatlo. So kung dalawa, that is 6. 2 FADH kasi sa isang cycle, isang FADH lang. So pag tapos ng dalawang FADH yan. 4 na carbon dioxide kasi kapag isang cycle, dalawang CO2 lang po siya. Pero pag natapos yung dalawang cycle, 4 carbon dioxide. And then, magpo-produce ka rin ng dalawang ATP. In summary, ito po yung table number 3 po natin. Krebs cycle, location niya is in the matrix of the mitochondrion. The requirement is 2-acetyl coenzyme A. You will be producing 6 NADH, 2 FADH, 4 carbon dioxide, and 2 ATP. That is for Krebs cycle. So kung i-discuss ko kasi itong part na to ng ating diagram, very complicated siya dahil sobrang dami niyang pangalan, 'di ba? So naka-summary lang yung ating discussion. And then ayan. So kung mapapansin natin yung Krebs cycle natin, ang purpose niya is mag-produce ng ATP and at the same time ng NADH and FADH. Balikan natin ha, 6 NADH and 2 FADH yung kanyang na-produce. Kasi yung dalawang yan is gagamitin naman sa next stage which is yung ating electron transport chain and chemiosmosis. So electron transport chain naman is located in the inner membrane of the mitochondria, wherein the oxygen pulls the electron from NADH and FADH down the electron transport chain to a lower energy state. The process produces 34 ATP or 90% of the ATP in the body. Paano kaya yun? Ganito po yun. Since nag-require ng oxygen yung ating electron transport chain, syempre, at that is aerobic, diba? Pag may oxygen. So, tandaan natin, yung FADH na na-produce natin from Krebs cycle, i-convert lang natin siya into ATP. So, kada FADH daw po, kaya niya mag-produce ng 2 ATP. Kada NADH naman, kaya mag-produce ng 3 ATP. Then, sa N ng process natin, yung chemiosmosis, ito na yung nagpo-produce tayo ng maraming ATP. So, what is ATP synthase? Ang ATP synthase is a protein in the inner membrane of the mitochondria that uses energy of the ion ingredient to power ATP synthesis. So, ito yung gumagawa or nagke-create ng adenosine triphosphate po natin. Ayan. So, dadaan ng electron transport chain, yung energy is i-absorb and then gagamitin yung energy na yan sa ating ATP synthase. Okay. To summarize, ito po yung electron transport chain po natin. The location is across cristae of the mitochondrion. So, ang requirement natin dyan is magkaroon tayo ng NADH and FADH. So, meron tayong product na 10 NADH and 2 FADH. Bakit sir naging 10 yung NADH natin? Balikan natin ha. Yung NADH natin, naging 10 siya. Bilangin natin yung mga na-produce kanina. Dito, meron ka ng 6 NADH sa ating Krebs cycle. Next natin is yung ating formation of acetyl coenzyme A. Meron kang 2 NADH, that is 8. So 6 plus 2, that is 8. Tapos yung ating next is sa ating glycolysis, meron kang 2 NADH. So 8 plus 2 naman, that is equal to 10. Kaya po siya naging 10 yung ating NADH sa ating electron transport chain. Ayan, kaya siya naging 10. Ngayon, ito times natin siya sa 3 kasi sabi natin, ang NADH po natin, eto, magpo-produce siya ng 3 ATP. Kaya niya mag-produce ng 3 ATP. So, ito times 3 lang natin siya. Kaya, magiging 30 ATP po siya. Tapos, yung 2 FADH na na-produce natin kanina sa ating Krebs cycle, ita-times lang natin siya sa 2 dahil sa isang FADH meron ka lang 2 ATP na mapoproduce. So ang total natin dito is magkakaroon ka ngayon ng 34 ATP. Nakuha po ba natin? Ayan, so ito naman, nag-match naman siya dun sa ating process. Ayan. So, balikan lang natin, 'di ba? Yung process natin. So, sa glycolysis, meron kang 2 ATP na na-produce. Hindi po 4 2 lang dahil yung 2 binayad po natin. Kaya 2 na lang po ang naiwan. 'Di ba? Next natin is Krebs cycle, meron kang 2 ATP na mapoproduce. Tama naman, based dun sa ating diagram. And then sa electron transport chain, meron kang 34 ATP na mapoproduce. So, in total, kung pagsasama-samahin ko yung mga yan, magkakaroon ka ng 38 ATP. So let's now proceed with the fermentation process. Okay, fermentation is a biological process where cells break down sugars to produce energy in the absence of oxygen. So dito, hindi po tayo gumagamit ng oxygen. Nagpa-ferment lang po ba tayo? It allows organisms to generate a small amount of energy or ATP when oxygen is not available, ensuring survival under anaerobic conditions. So we have the key features of fermentation. So since it is anaerobic, again, it is not required to use oxygen, diba? The energy yield, usually it produces 2 ATP per glucose molecule. And then the end product of the fermentation is nakadepende po sa type ng fermentation kasi we have 2 types of fermentation. The first one is yung ating lactic acid fermentation. So, saan ginagamit ang lactic acid fermentation? So, ginagamit po natin to sa ating mga muscle cells, and yung ibang bacteria is gumagamit ng lactic acid fermentation. So, ang process niyan is yung glucose is i-convert into pyruvate, and then from pyruvate, i-convert siya into lactic acid. So, gumagamit po dito ng ating continuous process po, bago gumagamit ng NADH. Example, kapag po tayo nag-undergo ng intense exercise, minsan nakakaramdam tayo ng pain, di ba? Or soreness dun sa ating mga muscle cells. That is because nagpo-produce siya ng lactic acid dahil hindi nakakarating agad yung oxygen doon sa ating mga muscles, kaya siya sumasakit. Okay, that is lactic acid fermentation. Next natin is alcoholic fermentation. So, sinong gumagamit or saan ginagamit ng alcoholic fermentation natin? Ginagamit natin to for yeast and some microorganisms. So the process is yung glucose i-convert into pyruvate, then from pyruvate i-convert yan into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So again, nire-reduce yun din yung NADH. Diba? Nire-reduce, nire-recycle pala para maging NAD+. Okay, so alcoholic fermentation is used in baking kasi gumagamit yan ng yeast, and brewing. For example, yung pag-create natin ng beer, ng wine, and ng ating bread. That is alcoholic fermentation. So, yung mga practical application natin ng fermentation, di ba? Example, yung pag-create pa lang ng vinegar. That is an example of fermentation. And eventually, yung vinegar, pwede pa siya ma-convert into alcohol. And that is alcoholic fermentation. So, this is the diagram for the general process of alcoholic fermentation and lactic acid fermentation. So, this one is for lactic acid. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung glucose, ko-convert siya into pyruvic acid hanggang sa maging lactic acid po siya. Tapos ito naman, yung glucose naman is i-convert pa rin siya sa pyruvic acid or pyruvate hanggang sa ma-convert siya into ethanol or alcohol. Okay, so that is our topic for cellular respiration. Thank you.